Hey YouTube, it's ICU, and today, following Apple's annual Worldwide Developers Conference, the company issued the first beta iteration of iOS 9 to registered developers. Alright, and to start off, for those of you interested in my upcoming iPad Air 2 giveaway, be sure to rate this video up and stick around to the end for details on that. With that said, in today's educational video, I'm going to show you how it's technically possible to install iOS 9 Beta 1 on any iOS device without having its UDID officially registered through an Apple developer account. Now, before we begin, there are quite a few things that I need to preface with. First of all, activation issues. Now, if you do encounter activation issues after the fact, there's a very simple way to fix it, and that's simply restoring via iTunes. However, to completely circumvent said issues and avoid them altogether, it's crucial that you take into account what I'm about to say. So, if you're on iOS 8, it doesn't matter which firmware, whether it's 8.0 or the latest public firmware being 8.3, you will have to actually restore again to a clean copy of iOS 8.3 inside of iTunes. And the procedure to do so is extremely simple. All you have to do is plug your device into your computer via a standard USB cable, launch iTunes, create a backup, hit the restore button to initiate an iTunes restore to iOS 8.3, restore from your backup, and then continue on with this video to install iOS 9.0 Beta 1. And that's also highly recommended for those of you who updated to whichever firmware you're currently on via Apple's OTA or over-the-air update method, because again, there's a very strong possibility you will encounter activation issues. And even when taking these precautions, the pesky activation errors can occur at any time, and they definitely will if you plug into iTunes after the fact. But you'll be able to fully utilize Apple's cloud-based services, so everything related to iCloud after you're on iOS 9 Beta 1, and you'll be able to completely reboot so long as you've taken everything I've said thus far into account. Also, this is another important one. If you decide at a later point you want to downgrade from iOS 9 back to iOS 8.3, 8.3 of course being the latest public firmware and therefore the only one that you can install on your device right now, then unfortunately you'll lose all personal data you've accumulated on iOS 9. That's just the way iTunes backup restores work. You cannot restore from a backup that was created on a higher firmware. However, you will be able to use iCloud to retain some of your data, so keep that in mind. If you want to downgrade in the future, utilize iCloud. Now with that said, we're about to get into this educational video, but first I wanted to show you guys that my 5th gen iPod Touch is indeed on iOS 8.3 by going inside of Settings, General, About, and down below at the bottom for the version, you'll notice that this iPod Touch reports it is indeed on iOS 8.3. I just did a clean backup, restore, and then restore from backup, the same procedure that I highlighted earlier in this video, so that way we can continue on to install iOS 9 Beta. Now the only thing you'd need, hypothetically speaking, for educational purposes is the iOS 9.0 corresponding IPSW for your device, aside from the latest version of iTunes, of course. And remember, again, this video is merely intended to highlight a security flaw in the way that iTunes handles developer beta restores. And now with all of that out of the way, simply plug your device into your computer via a standard USB cable and then launch iTunes. And once iTunes is up, it's pretty simple. You're going to simply navigate to the device tab. As you can see, it's already brought me to it here inside of iTunes, and I'm going to click on continue because I just freshly restored this iPod, and we're going to click on get started. Followed by that, I'm going to simply cancel the sync process so that way we can continue. You don't have to worry about that too much though. Now from here, depending on which type of computer you have, you're either going to hold down the Option or Alt key on Mac OS X or Shift on Windows, and then left click check for update. Do not left click restore. Again, you're left clicking check for update and then simply point iTunes at the proper IPSW and then click on open. And then it will ask you if you're sure you want to update your device to iOS 9.0 and that it will verify the update with Apple. So I'm going to click on update because I'm sure I want to update it. And I'm going to hold my iPod Touch up on the screen here throughout the duration of this process, just so you guys can see approximately how long it should take. Remember, I'm going to leave my iPod Touch up on the display throughout this video. Inside of iTunes, it simply says that it's preparing the iPod for a software update, and we have a black screen along with the traditional spinning pinwheel there. iTunes says we're waiting for an update again. The Apple logo appeared, followed by the iTunes restore screen. It almost looks like recovery mode, and it's just continuing inside of iTunes itself. Alright, and we actually have a progress bar on the iPod Touch below the Apple logo there. It's a little hard to see now, but it will become more evident once it starts to fill in. Alright, and iTunes actually says verifying updated iPod software. It will go through a number of different verification checkpoints, but so long as you held down the corresponding key for your computer, as well as clicked on that check for update button and manually pointed iTunes at the correct IPSW, you will be good to go and it will bypass all of said checkpoints. And also, I want you guys to keep in mind that this 5th generation iPod Touch does not have its UDID registered within any Apple developer account. And now it's moved on from verifying to saying that it's updating iPod software. And we have some progress inside of iTunes itself, and the bar will start to fill in on the iPod Touch shortly. As you can see there, we now have slight progress. And just keep in mind that the bar on your iOS device is of the overall progress, whereas the bar inside of iTunes simply reflects the current step iTunes is actually going through during the update process. Alright, and iTunes has moved on from saying that it's updating iPod software to now verifying updated iPod software once again. So just leave it plugged in and let iTunes do its thing. Remember, this is a completely automated process. Alright, now iTunes finished saying verifying updated iPod software, it moved on to updating, and now we're back to verifying. Just remember, it will proceed from there. And now, as you can see, iTunes actually confirms that the iPod Touch has been updated to iOS 9 successfully and that it will restart once it completes. So now the iPod Touch is restarting here, and I'm actually just going to minimize iTunes and unplug the iPod Touch, and then from here, everything will take place on the device itself, and once it's finished, it will actually just consolidate some files there after the reboot, and we will be good to go. It just has to do the on-device update process, and then we're actually going to have to do the on-screen setup on the device itself, so that way it can fully update and it can bring us to the iOS 9 home screen. So as you can see, there's a little progress bar beneath the Apple logo again. Remember, you don't have to be plugged into iTunes for this step. Once you get that message stating that your iPod or iDevice has been successfully updated, you're good to go, and the rest will again just take place on the device. So as you can see, we now have some progress and it should finish shortly, and then we'll be on iOS 9 once it's done with the boot. Alright, now as you can see, after that extremely long final step there, we have the Apple logo once again, and we should be up shortly. All right, and here we are. We have the traditional hello screen. I'm going to simply swipe over. It says update completed. I'm going to tap on continue, and then from there it's asking me to create a passcode. I don't have any options, so I'm going to do that really quick. And once I do, let's confirm it. And now that I have, it's asking me to confirm my iCloud account, and I just did by typing in my password. And now it's saying that it's updating iCloud settings, so as you can see there, I am indeed logged inside of iCloud without this 5th generation iPod Touch's UDID registered through an Apple developer account, and this is on iOS 9 Beta 1. I'll show you guys once it actually finishes this on-screen setup process here. So as you can see, now it's asking me where I want to be reached on iMessage. I just blurred that out there for security purposes, and I'm going to uncheck everything and then proceed. And now of course it's asking me about iCloud keychain. I'm just going to continue through here. I'm not interested in that. And finally I can tap on get started, and here we are inside of iOS 9. As you can see, the 5th generation iPod Touch now has the new wallet app, and I'm going to launch settings, of course, general, about. Okay, so down there at the bottom for the version, you'll notice that it states 9.0 now instead of iOS 8.3, and that's the correct build number for iOS 9 Beta 1. So you know that this 5th gen iPod Touch is indeed running iOS 9. And just quickly showing you guys that the wallet app is indeed functional. To once again confirm that this is iOS 9 beta, I'm just going to tap into it, and as you can see now, it does indeed confirm that this is the official wallet app in iOS 9. So it really is that simple, guys. I hope you liked this video. It's just a quick one for educational purposes only, of course, to show you guys how it's theoretically possible to update any iOS device to 9.0 Beta 1 without its UDID being registered in an Apple developer account. If you liked it and you're interested in winning a brand new iPad Air 2, all you have to do is just rate this video up, navigate to freeappsfast.com inside of mobile Safari on your iOS device, and then leave a relevant comment down below in the comment section containing your referral code, which is found in the 4th tab at the bottom after the equals symbol inside of the link itself on freeappsfast.com. Remember that giveaway will start soon. If you guys want to be updated more often, such as when I release additional videos covering various things spanning from iOS 9 to watchOS 2, jailbreaking, and more, just be sure to click that subscribe button down below next to my channel name if you have yet to, and also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter for even more updates. And until next time, this is ICU signing out.